Hi everyone, my name is Leah McKenzie, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation on Friedrich Froebel, one of our educational reformers that has made a big history in our education system today. I was interested in learning about him because he's such an advocate for the kindergarten world, which is the grade level I will be teaching next year. So I just wanted to get the history behind kindergarten and how it was made and why it's important. And learning about Friedrich Froebel has really opened my eyes to learn about kindergarten. To start, I just wanted to give some background knowledge of who Friedrich Froebel is and why he's so important in our education system today. So, to start, Friedrich Froebel was a German educator who founded kindergarten. He is one of the most influential educational reformers in history. He discovered his love for education while he was trying to pay off some debt. So, I found it interesting. He was in jail for some unpaid debt that he had, and as he was trying to pay it off, he took a teaching appointment position at a progressive model school. And while he was there, he learned how much he loved the education world and wanted to become a teacher. So, Friedrich Froebel opened his first school in 1816. He partnered with a couple of his friends to find the school. It took about 6 years. And then 2 years after it was already established and opened, they moved their school and he began practicing his own educational theories. So, this is where the idea of kindergarten and starting kids young in school really sparked due to his opening of his school and moving it. So, some key contributions of Friedrich Froebel. So, he established the first kindergarten. And while he was establishing kindergarten, he wanted an educational space that was based around playing and learning. He wanted to really self-centered around the fact that children learn based on their age level. And with 5-year-olds, it's a great time to expose them to learning and being able to relate it to their playtime and just get on their level. So as this came along, he also was a key thing for him was having the definition and the term of play-based learning. So we use that as today, and it's a big thing that it's all based on self-expression and creativity. So he wanted kids to come into school and have that time to be expressive and to use their creativity and learn by playing. Also, it was a big belief that teachers should serve as facilitators to support kids' learning. So instead of just lecturing and pushing facts and information on kids, especially at this age, he wanted teachers to really facilitate their learning and to push them to really just support them, ask them questions, push them to learn more, and just further their knowledge as asking them and to build their communication skills. So he also had this big thing called gifts and occupations. With this was as terms as for play-based toys made to support innovative learning and hands-on activities for these students. As they're 5 years old, they're going to learn better with kinesthetic opportunities, and that was made with these gifts and occupations that were built for, and we're still using them in our school systems today, which I found is awesome. He also promoted the idea of self activity. So he really just wanted to encourage kids to be active learners, to be engaged, to be a part of the group. And with that, using the play based learning is the best way to really push and gain the insights to these kindergarten babies. So, how education has changed from Friedrich Froebel? Because of him, we know the foundational ideas to contribute to early childhood education. He is the reason why everyone's able to learn why kindergarten, that age is so important to push and to start opening opportunities up to them. And he built the whole concept of kindergarten. So that's really what changed the education system. He also is, just allowed others to learn how this level and this time of a child's life is a big part of the developmental stage for children. So they really needed to be exposed to the education world. He allowed others to understand what child-centered approach is, so just being intentional on letting children really take initiative in their learning and to be hands-on and learn from experiences rather than just an adult telling them what to do. He really allowed others to understand that concept. Also, he allowed others to understand the importance of creativity and movement, especially at a young age. He really allowed people to see that music and the arts and stuff like that really did contribute to children learning. So that was a way that he really affected the education system. So, what was advocated from him? Really, the main thing that Friedrich Froebel was advocating was that for early childhood students was play-based learning. In this level, kids are able to learn by center time, gaining communication skills with their friends and their peers, learning their emotional and social awareness. And Friedrich Verbal having this play-based learning was a great opportunity for them to take to learn from what they're doing as they're playing and connecting to their age level. So, like we talked about earlier, he had these things called gifts, and that was materials for educational play and learning. We're still using those today in our education system. The words have changed a little bit, but they do support learning, especially in early childhood. So, all of Friedrich Froebel's learning and knowledge has really affected the way we are in today's in our classrooms. So now we can really focus in on social and emotional development, especially in early childhood classrooms. Now, I know that with how the education world is changing and evolving, a lot of the things back then were pushed in kindergarten, and now it's kind of getting pushed into pre-K because pre-K is a big thing on social and emotional awareness. But I think that there's still fundamental value behind Friedrich Froebel's approach to learning. So, um, and in kindergarten. So they say we're able to focus more on those social and emotional developments because of what Friedrich Froebel was able to find for us. Also, play-based learning is still a big thing in our education system today, especially in early childhood. So a big thing though is guided play with teachers, not just handing kids off and letting them do their own thing. Really having a teacher guide them through the play while learning kindergarten content. So I know that in our classrooms now, as a kindergarten teacher, I plan to use play based learning when I'm teaching small groups. I want to use that kinesthetic time to play games with my students and be intentional of connecting what they're supposed to be learning to what they do daily, and they love to play. So, getting them connected into the education and what they're learning based on things they enjoy, that's a big thing. And that's why play based learning is so important. So, also, educational materials. It affected the way we use educational materials today. Like he called them gifts. Now, a lot of times we're using manipulatives and tactile tools to support that learning. It all goes back to those kinesthetic opportunities for students. So, a lot of times, like I'll pour sand out on the table and kids will write letters or words in the sand, shaving cream, using manipulatives to practice their one to one correspondence skills. It can go on. And it's something that not only we're using in early childhood classrooms, it supports the learning of older kids too as they're starting to learn new concepts or needing to review. A lot of people are using those. So his findings has really supported the educational materials we use today. And also in our classrooms, we are constantly using movement and music to learn. I know with the babies that I teach, we have to have our brain breaks. We have to have our songs. They love to move, they love to dance. It helps them wiggle, get their wiggles out, and be able to focus. And a lot of times now, we have music and stuff that connects to the concepts that we're learning daily. So they love to hear songs that are connecting to what they're learning, what they're doing. Also, students love to draw, they love to dance, they love going outside, taking nature walks, finding objects outside. It really supports that play based learning, being able to take a pine cone and creating something out of it. Like that is a big deal, and his findings is what supports that. Also, being able to play outdoor games, taking chalk outside, letting students draw uh, on the chalk numbers and whatnot. There's so many things that you can do with the arts and music and whatnot. And as Friedrich Froebel was discussing play-based learning, like he talked about the importance of music and movement as well. So a lot of those things are affecting the classrooms today and really making a difference in our educational world. These are my works cited, just some of the websites that I found to help me learn about Friedrich Froebel. Like I said, I really enjoyed learning about him just because I can see the big difference he's made in our education world, especially in elementary education and early childhood. So I really enjoyed this opportunity. And I'm excited to see what you guys find with the other educational reformers that have affected our education system too.